Good morning, and welcome to This Week in Phenomenal-ness. I hope you all had a fantastic week, and we woke up to a little bit of, if you're on the East Coast, obviously you guys have been informed a little bit earlier, but if you're on the West Coast, we woke up to the unfortunate news of what happened in New York this morning. So I'd like to just, when we do our morning settling in and just, bringing in that energy, I'd really like for us also to just bring in the energy of Mother Earth to send out, that healing vibration so that we can all feel safe and protected. So if we could just first close our eyes and place our attention right here between our two eyebrows, which is called the Tezzertell or the third eye. And if you can think of something that you love to really just open up your heart chakra and, really get that vibration going and making sure that you've really dropped into the experience. So take a deep breath in. And just let that go and open up your mind to not edit yourself in this process here. Um, Very interesting. I don't know why the word partition came up for me and just kept kind of like blaring at me through this whole just the experience that we just had. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't know if that's for somebody else outside of me, but the word partition just kept coming up and up, like it just kept coming up over and over again while I was doing that couple of seconds of just dropping in meditation. So last week, if we recap last week, let's just start with that. It was about forget about motivation. And I found this to be very interesting in the sense that I, my perception of motivation, first of all, was kind of off. And I thought, I've got to create all these things and do all this stuff, and then I'm going to be motivated and, just stay positive. And when I just actually forgot about it, I was able to just kind of, organically get in the flow of what motivated me instead of like, I have to do this and I have to do this. And it really seemed to I feel like there was like a flow this past week of things that I set out like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, came back at the moments that I wasn't even expecting it. Like I had a meeting yesterday, and it was on a proposal when I talked about the whole idea of writing proposals and the fact that I wasn't feeling motivated last week. I was talking about to write proposals, and there's a proposal I put out like about a month and a half ago, and I followed up with them twice, never heard from them, left it alone, and now here I am, and I get a call on like I think it was Tuesday morning at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, hello. And this person's like, hey, and they start laughing and joking with me, and they're like, we looked at your proposal like 2 months ago almost, and would you be willing to come in for a meeting? Well, as a result of it, taking a check. Booyah! So, I just, I really feel like the whole idea of forgetting motivation really actually it was a benefit to me. And I'd love to hear how it went for you guys. I see there's a couple of viewers this morning. So hi guys, welcome. And then the other thing was eliminating the non-essentials. And I have so many things piled up. Like, I mean, if you could only see my desk, I have so many things piled up on my desk as well as piled up in my mind of like, these are essential things or what I thought were essential things that have to get done. And the reality is, once I started saying, okay, really, right now this isn't necessary. And right now this isn't necessary. And okay, this is necessary right now. And I really just started to like, one, get rid of the mind chatter, first of all. And that was like eliminating the non essentials. And two, the whole idea of really being able to just clear your slate of the things that don't make sense. I just saw like leaps and bounds this week. I'm really having a great time with this week in Phenomenal-ness and all the things that I'm getting to experience. And I didn't know when I started out that this is where I'd be. Because do you ever actually know? I mean, yeah, you can put forth like visions and manifestations of this is what I would like, but I really didn't like walk into this having an idea of what I wanted this to be outside of I just wanted to video journal, and I just really wanted to share because I really felt like this would be a good way for me to be a vehicle, not only to the world around me but to myself. And what better way than to share, which is what I truly think we're here to do, than to share, my experiences and the things that I find in my travels. So, then the other thing that so first of all, okay, so we look back on the tools, it was forgetting about motivation and eliminating the non essentials. So, those are the two things that I really kind of like took as and added to my tool bag this week as I walked through my journey. And while I was doing that, I think I like this card set. It's really cool, it's very practical. So, Ask and It Will Happen is the name of the card set. And here's the card. I'll pull it so you guys can see. This is how the box set looks with the birds in the background. But this is the actual card that I had on my desk all week because it's really cool. You can slide in a card and, have it sitting on your desk. So, embracing your life's purpose. Let's push that in. Um, I'm going off kilter there. So, embracing your life purpose. So, that was the card, right? And it was interesting because it was all about like karma is not punishment, but it's a choice and a chance to grow. And last week, Joe and myself had been talking about the whole idea of karma and, the fact that we really felt like we were like popping a big zit in our life right now. And I said to him, it's really like 3 years of like cleanup of karma. And we really paid in coin, which is our cash, in physical, which is our health, and in mental and emotional, which is like, the whole makeup of our fiber outside of soul, obviously, but obviously triggers the different emotions in the body. And I really felt like this past 3 years was like a karma cleanup for beyond belief. And I found this interesting thing when I was in my travels this week, kind of looking on the internet of what kind of stuff what resonated with me that I wanted to share on the Phenomenal Girls Facebook page, as well as I shared some of it on the event wall. And one of the things was a picture of there was a picture of a house, two stick people, one beside the house picture and one below it, arrows pointing both at it. Uh, it was a comment about like 7 years ago. You're seeing what you were projecting 7 years ago, and it was a picture of like a big, beautiful house. So it's really like the idea that whatever we put forth in our life now over the next how many ever years, they say 7 years in this article, but however, it could be tomorrow, it could be today, it could be 7 to 10, 20 years from now. I was going to say shit. So yeah, shit is going to come back. So if we just really take the time to, oh, what's the topic? The person left. The topic, let me write this. The topic is phenomenal-ness. I think that says it. Phenomenal-ness. So if we take the time to really just put forth the right things that we want to see on come back to us, it'll happen. That's just I think it's just reality. If I bitch somebody out, I know eventually that's going to come back and I'm going to get bitched out. If I pay it forward with somebody, I know at some point somebody along my life journey is going to pay it forward with me. So it's really as simple as that. If I put forth the vision, and I think that's why visioning boards and manifesting boards are really great. If I put forth the vision that I'm going to have this big, beautiful house, or I'm going to buy this car, the karma of that is going to come back. However, and if I keep it clean and loving, it's going to come back clean and loving. If I am in desperation and, like an ugly place about it, it's going to come back that way. It's just the reality. So, really short week. I'm really trying to like hone in and get it so that you guys at work can really just dial into it quickly and jump out of it. An example of it in action this week, the whole idea of karma and the whole idea of, forgetting about motivation and eliminating the non-essential. So I had a call from a dear friend yesterday who said to me, I'm really frustrated, and everybody gives me advice, but I'm not getting anything tangible. She's like, my whole life I've been feeling like this. And let me just kind of give you a background. So we have a person who, super amazing woman, totally driven, feeling down on herself, has some insecurity issues when it comes to uh, jealousy, when it comes to relationships, and when it comes to um, addictions. And I think we all, I mean, I have addictions. I deal with addictions on a daily basis. I'm addicted to like being aggressive. I've been addicted to cigarettes. I addicted to certain thought patterns. So like, when people think of addiction, they only think of like alcoholism or drugs. The reality is there are a lot of addictions in life. Coffee's an addiction, caffeine's an addiction. You know, there's so many things that we don't realize are addictions in our life. So, I said to her, look, I've known you a long time. And this is something you've been grappling with for a really long time. And whether somebody hits on, your partner, or somebody, like puts down your self worth, they're not doing it to hurt you. They're doing it because they're not even conscious that they're being a vehicle and a mirror in your life. And there is a karma that is coming back for whatever reason, that the universe is saying, this isn't clean yet. We need to clean it up. And she was like, yeah, but I don't understand how. And I asked her to look back on her childhood and really look at like the first time in her childhood when that actually occurred, the feeling occurred, because we can repeat repetitive cycles if we don't actually really look at like where the root of it is, just like the root of a tooth, or the root of of why you love someone. So when we looked back, she was able to identify like a specific time in her life when they moved to another country, and she was an outsider, and her mom used to send them to school with like boiled eggs for lunch. And you're a kid in grade school, who wants to go to school with stinky boiled eggs? So it really, all, she got teased, she got, and then she felt helpless, and she felt like she couldn't fight back because she didn't speak the same language in the country they'd moved to. So it definitely played on her self-esteem, and not being conscious of it, it's walked forward with her in her life, and it's really dictated some of these experiences that she's had, or a lot of the experiences that she's had. And she really hasn't been able to like get a handle on it. And while, she gave up the addiction of alcoholism, go you, you know who you are, and I love you, and I think you're an amazing, phenomenal woman, and you've overcome so much in your life already. When you overcome that, whatever's still there, that dark shadow. Remember, a couple weeks ago we did a Debbie Ford technique about like really looking at the dark shadows. When you get rid of that big dark shadow, all the little ones that were kind of hiding in the background behind it, they start to seep out. Like, oh well, now that there's no major addiction, it's time for us to come out. And so I think it's when she went back to her childhood and was able to really identify that and look at that story, because all it is a story. It doesn't really hold weight in our life now. She was able to say, okay, this is tangible. I can see where you're coming from. I can see that now that this addiction is gone, these addictions are coming forward. I get that. These people who are shining a mirror back on me are not doing it because they themselves want to hurt me. That's just the universe using them as a vehicle. And no matter how ugly it seems coming from that person, really, it's just me shining a mirror back on myself. So when, in a matter of 20 minutes of having a conversation with her, her energy completely shifted, and I could feel the shift on the phone. I had a person who was like upset, on the verge of tears, heavy, crying, just not happy, say to me at the end of that call, that's tangible. And I had said to her, why don't you go to like AA classes or something? And she's like, because it's just not tangible. All it is like talking about like hope. She's like, I need tangible. And at the end of the conversation, she's like, I have a framework now based on our conversation to be able to like go and do a real exploration and have like some tools that could actually help me. So more power to you. You are phenomenal, and I love you. And whatever anybody else was able to get from that, I think what I got from it was, I started smoking again. For 6 months not smoked. I had an electric cigarette. I was doing awesome. And then Joe brought home a pack of cigarettes because he was stressed out one day, and I started smoking again. And I beat myself up about it. I was like, oh my God, my addictive personality's back. And so for the past like 3 days, I've been like, okay, I don't have any more cigarettes. I'm not going to buy cigarettes. I'm going to buy cigarettes. I'm not going to buy cigarettes. And I've just been like really like stressing myself out. And the mirror was being shone back on me when she called me yesterday. And the tangibleness of that was that I needed to do constructive things with my time when I was feeling like I needed to have a cigarette. So thank you, universe, for using me as a vehicle and using her as a vehicle, because we were able to help each other in that moment. So, moving on to our card this week. Don't talk about sunshine. Don't talk about the moonlight. Just talk about the good times. Don't blame it on the boogie. Yeah, that's my song this week. So I'm going to open up all these cards. I can just control myself. Woo! Okay, yeah, I'm a little crazy today. I'm gonna go to the gym. I haven't been to the gym all week. I'm kind of excited. I'm really hungry right now, but I'm kind of excited. So, okay, so here's the cards. Ask and it will happen. Let's see what the asking is this week. Say what you want. Don't talk about the sunshine. Woo. Don't talk about the moonlight. Don't talk about the good times. Just blame it on the boogie. Say what you want. I think I put that up there long enough. I don't know. I'm just like in a little hyper mood today. Um, I woke up feeling like excited, although there was some sad stuff on the TV. So, first of all, let me read the back of the card. The most effective way you can let the universe know what you want is by affirming clearly, as many times as possible, what you hope for using your words and thoughts. Use affirmations today. Let's look at say what you want, do what you want, do. Oh, there we go. I opened right up to it. So in the book, I'm going to read what the book has to say, because the book has some interesting thoughts. One of the most effective ways to achieve your dreams is to affirm them clearly, as many times as possible. So that's a good addiction. Because I'm interpreting that as an addiction, but it's an addiction that you should adopt that's actually a good one. So affirmations, clearly, as many times as possible. What you want with your words and thoughts. You can think about your request and or say them out loud repeatedly to yourself or to anyone else that might care to listen. Okay, so there's an addiction, or not an addiction. There's been an affirmation that I've been saying for like years. And I've had little bouts of it. I'm going to win the lottery. That's what I want. I know it's the craziest, like there's like 1 in a million people win it. I don't know why, but I've always had this burning desire, like a really, since I was a little girl, like a real burning desire to like win the lottery. I feel like I want to like help so many people with that. And I've watched all these stories about people who have like won the lottery and like wasted the money. And I'm like, I don't want to waste the money. I want to help people. I've got this burning desire inside of me. So it's something that I've visioned, I've wrote about, I've wrote in my journal about. I look back year after year at like some point in every year I've written about it. So I'm just going to say it out loud so that everybody can hear it. I want to win the lottery. Like a month ago, I won like $148. And I was like, the month before that, I won $11. And, you know, as time went by before that, I was winning like, you know, I won $55 once. I've won lots of free tickets. But now I want to hit the jackpot. That's what I'm putting out there. The other stuff, you know, I'll work on my own. But I'm putting that one out there. So as I finish, you can think about your request and or say them out loud. Right, so we got that. Try doubling the power by writing down your affirmation and reading it periodically, or try printing it out and displaying it around your home or workplace. My family and I like to stick sticky notes containing affirmations near our computers and also on our refrigerator and mirrors to remind us of our intent. When more than one person uses the same affirmation for a common goal, the result can be mind blowing. If you have drawn this card this week, ding, 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 you are beginning to ask what you want. Set up your affirmations and vocalize your wishes at every possible opportunity. Booyah! I set mine up. Well, the beginning of it, anyways. I told you all what the first affirmation was. I want to win the lottery. Crazy Phoenix, crazy Phoenix. That's me in a nutshell. So yeah. Now you know. I'm gonna stop futzing with that right now. So now you know what this week is about. This week is about, oh, and yeah. So, okay, so that was the activity. I kind of did it backwards this week. So that was the activity. And we talked about the tools from the past week. We talked about the card from the past week. We talked about the card this week. And now I'm going to talk about the tool to accompany that activity, which that activity is say what you want. The tool this week is kindness. Use kindness in every step of your journey this week. I'm just going to read some of my thoughts on kindness. Yes, kindness is a habit, and it's a good habit to form, and it can be cultivated. Focus on it every day for the next week, and you may see, depending on your committedness to it, a profound change in your life. You will feel better about yourself as a person. You will see people react to you differently and treat you better over the long run. It's karma. So it's kind of building on that whole idea of karma this week. And what you put forth now is going to come back to you. And I did talk about the whole idea of profound change in your life. You'll feel better about yourself. Yeah, I talked about that woman that time in the grocery store. I shared, I think, probably 2 weeks ago about or yeah, when I was saying who are we as soul. I shared that whole experience with that woman of, I decided to really focus my energy on telling her how much I loved her and how much I wish she was having a great day after like a whole year of never ever acknowledging me, and she acknowledged me. And this is a perfect example. You will feel better about yourself, and you will see people react to you differently and treat you better. I promise you it will happen. So how do you develop kind habits? Question. First, make it a goal to do something kind for someone each day. So that's interesting because in my faith, Ekankar, we talk about the whole idea of really being able to do something for someone else every day. And that helps open your heart center and really helps you to be like in alignment with your true journey as soul, because we are soul at the end of the day. Yeah, I got a physical body, but I am soul. So yeah, again, how do you develop kindness as a habit? First, make it a goal and do something kind for someone each day. At the beginning of the day, figure out what kind of kind act will be or what kind of kind act you will be doing, and then do it throughout the day. Second, each time you interact with someone, try to be kind and be friendly. Be compassionate. I think compassion is a really huge gift that we have to give. And it really allows us to be present when you apply compassion to the things that you're actually paying attention to in life. And third, try to go beyond the small kindness to large acts of compassion, volunteering your help with those in need, talking to or taking the initiative to relieve some kind of suffering in somebody's life or your life. And super interesting because my partner Joe looked at me this week and he said to me, babe, I really want to get back into giving. He's like, I want to give in some area of our life. He's like, obviously we built this business to be able to give, and but the reality is we're going to monetize off of that give. He's like, but I want to be able to like really just give my time or give my skill somewhere that's just for the sake of giving. And so I think this is a perfect time to implement it. So what are we doing this week? Our activity is say what you want, do what you want, do. So say what you want. The most effective way you can let the universe know what you think is by affirming clearly as many times as possible what you hope for by using your words and thoughts. Use affirmations daily. And while you're doing that, go out and be kind. Yes, kindness is a habit. It can be cultivated. So go out and cultivate it. Go out and do good things for people. Go out and, talk to people with compassion. Make you present in your conversations, and go beyond the small measures of kindness and do some really like extraordinary kind things this next week that really relieve suffering for somebody, or volunteer your time somewhere. So at 9:23 on the 24th of August. Hey, my sister's birthday's in 4 days. And we are in Virgo, so I've got like a whole, I'm not sure if any of you else have felt it. I put it on the Facebook page, and I kind of mentioned the Kabbalistic religion because they really look at like every new moon as the beginning of a new cycle or a new astrological cycle. And we're in Virgo right now, and Virgo's about like the perfectionism of life and really about completing things and like getting it done. And I feel really like invigorated, and I could actually feel the shift on the new moon, and it was so crazy. I wasn't even conscious of it, but I felt the shift. And when I was talking to a girlfriend of mine the other night, it dawned on me to go and look up the Kabbalistic religion for some reason. It was also the day of Eid, which is Monday, and when I looked it up, what came up was like the whole month of Virgo and how powerful it is, and it's like the beginning of a really powerful cycle. And we can really like all the things that we planted we'll see come to fruition, and we'll be able to really like move into a perfectionism that's not even like an obsession anymore. check it out on the Facebook page. So I love you all. May you go out and spread the love and the kindness and say what you want and have an amazing day weekend of rest as you walk into your next week of phenomenalness, because you are phenomenal. And let's place our attention on love and open our hearts, and let's send as much universal love as we can to all of those people in New York who are, you know, dealing with that tragedy this morning that happened at the Empire State Building. Um, just send a blanket of love out there without getting involved in anybody else's feelings of what happened. So just close your eyes, place your attention on your third eye or your Tizratil, open your heart to the things that you love, or something, one thing that you truly love. Take in a deep breath, just let it sit in that moment, and when you release that energy, know that you are completely provided for in every step of this journey. So 1, 2, 3. In infinite love and gratitude, I heard the word graciously. I bid you a great weekend and week. And this is another week in Phenomenal-ness. How we affect the world around us, or how we affect change in the world around us, is this part two of 8 parts. This week in Phenomenal-ness, how we affect change in the world around us. Part 2 comes to an end. Many blessings to you all, and take care.